Good morning, children. So today we are going to start with lesson number 1 in your science subject. Okay? Lesson number 1 is crop production and management. I hope everybody is having your PDF file or textbook, whatever stuff you have with you. Please be ready with your stuff and open page number 1. Okay, crop production and management. Now first of all, let us know what is the meaning of crop. Do you know what is the meaning of crop? Where do you see the crops? Who grows the crops? Do you know? In which season do we grow the crops? Yes, crops means the thing that the farmers grow by giving or putting or sowing different kinds of seeds. So that crop production is to be made and the management should be done in a proper way. So how the crop production is done and how it is managed, we are going to study in this chapter. Okay? Now on page number 1, you can see that you have learned that all the living organisms require food, right? We can stay without food for 2 or 3 days, right? But then what happens on the 4th day? We again get hungry, right? So food is very important for us. But have we ever given a thought that from where this food is coming? Who grows this food? Fine? Okay? Fine. Plants can make their food themselves. Can you recall how green plants synthesize their own food? Let me give you a recap. That plants prepare their food by which process? Anybody can tell me by which process it prepares the own food? Yes, plants prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, right? And this photosynthesis, how does it occur? It occurs in presence of air, water and sunlight. Photosynthesis occurs in the presence of air, water and sunlight. And most importantly, in this process is the chlorophyll. And what is chlorophyll? It is the green pigment. The green color pigment that we see in the plants is chlorophyll. And where do we see the green color pigment? We see it in the leaves. Fine. So leaves have got the green color pigment which is called chlorophyll, and in presence of chlorophyll, air, water and sunlight, the green plants prepare their own food. This process is called photosynthesis. I think you have studied in 5th standard, 6th standard, right? But this is just a revision of what is photosynthesis. So plants can make their food themselves. Can you recall how green plants synthesize? So we have recalled it. It prepares the own food by photosynthesis. Animals, including humans, cannot make their own food. Fine. Animals and human beings cannot make their own food. Means what? Yes, we can prepare our own food in the kitchen. Right? If I want to prepare khichdi, I prepare it in my kitchen. But the things which are needed to prepare the khichdi, from where am I making wheat by myself? Am I making rice by myself? Am I making oil by myself? No. Fine. It is being done by somebody. Fine. Okay. So where do animals get their food? But first of all, why do we have to eat the food? We discussed that plants prepare their own food. Humans and animals cannot prepare their own food. They have to depend on other animals for the food stuff. But the question is, why do we need food? Is it necessary? Yes. If we don't eat food, will that not be fine? It's okay. We don't want to eat food. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. 4th day we are going to be empty. Fine. Maybe some of the people maybe even have to get hospitalized because they have weakness in their body. Fine. Why do we have to eat the food? why there is necessity for food. You already know that energy from the food is utilized by organisms for carrying out their various functions such as digestion, respiration and excretion. We get our food from plants, animals or both. Okay, just do one thing, just don't eat for one day. What will happen the next day? If you don't eat for one day, what will happen next day? Okay, next day what happens so much? Then after 2 or 3 days, what will happen? Will start feeling weak. If you are sitting on one place, you will not feel very energetic. You will feel lethargic. You will feel very lazy. Why? Because you haven't taken the food. So the energy that is to be obtained from the food, the energy that is to be obtained from the food will not be obtained. Fine? The food provides us the energy to do work. Food provides us energy to do work. What energy? Why energy is needed? We all know that different processes are taking place in our body. Digestion, respiration, excretion, all these processes are taking place continuously in our body, right? So those cells need energy to perform all these activities. So we have to take in food so that energy is released and this energy is obtained for doing all such processes. So the first thing is that why we need food? Food provides us with energy to do the work. Fine. If we don't take food, what will happen? We will feel lethargic. We will keep on feeling sleepy. If we are sitting in one place, if somebody calls us, we won't even take the effort to get up and even talk to that person. Why? Because we haven't taken food and we feel very weak. Okay? You try out for 1 or 2 days, don't eat. Okay? This is the thing that will happen if we don't take food. So the answer to the question is that why we need the food is, we need food for getting energy. And why energy is needed? To carry out all these life processes like digestion, respiration, excretion, etc. Got it? Okay. So in order to provide food for a large population, a regular production, proper management and distribution is necessary. Not only human beings, animals, insects, and there is a large population all over the world and everybody will need food. Each and every living being needs food to carry out their life processes. So food production also is very important, and not only the food production, its management is also important. Management means you have to manage the growing of different crops, different food items. Okay, so that all is very necessary to provide food for the entire living beings or animals. So let us study about the first topic, that is agricultural practices. So one thing is sure, that we obtain the food, but all this food is obtained through agriculture. Who is growing? Who grows all the crops? Who grows all the crops? Yes, obviously the farmer. So the first topic is agricultural products. Okay, agricultural products. When plants of same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. You have seen in our school campus. Have you seen in our school campus? There is lush green farm in the front side. Have you seen in the front side and even at the back side of our school? Right? The farmer, what does he do? He grows one kind of crop in a piece of land. Fine. So whatever he is growing, whatever type of seed that he has cultivated in that piece of land, fine, it is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in the field are of wheat. The farmer will grow only one type of crop in that farm. You already know that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables and food. Now crops. So they are of different types. They are cereals, then vegetables, and fruits. Okay, so crops are of different types. Cereals. Now what is the meaning of cereals? Cereals means all the anaj like wheat, rice, bajri. Okay, all this comes under cereals. Okay, then vegetables. Everybody knows what are vegetables, like tomatoes, potatoes, brinjals. Okay, fruits, apples, mango, bananas, etc. Okay, so crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables, fruits, even pulses. Do you know what is the meaning of pulses? Pulses means all the kathor like mug, chana, all that you are having, right? So these are the pulses. So crops are of different kinds. You already know that crops are of different kinds like cereals, vegetables and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. You can classify. You cannot grow any crop at any time. There are different seasons for which you grow. For example, if you take an thing of mango. Do you get mango in winter season? Do you get mangoes in December? Do you get grapes in December? No, you don't get. Why? Because there are different time to grow different types of crops, right? India is a vast country. The climatic conditions like temperature, humidity and rainfall vary from region to region. Right? India is a vast country. Its temperature, humidity and rainfall are different. You can see in our country the temperature of Gujarat is different from that of Jammu and Kashmir. The humidity, the rainfall is not same in all over different parts of the country. You can see in desert areas you have less rainfall, right? So temperature, humidity, rainfall, all these factors, right? Agriculture is totally dependent on all these factors, and all these factors are different in different parts of the country because India is a very large country. So all these factors are not same in all the parts of the country, right? Accordingly, there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of the country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns are identified, right? There are diversities, the differences in the temperature, humidity and rainfall, fine? So according to these factors, crops of different kinds are grown in different kinds of region. But then also, even due to this large diversity, crops can be divided into two parts, right? Crops can be divided into two parts, that is the Kharif crops and Rabi crops. And Rabi crops. Okay, now what are Kharif crops? Let me tell you. What are Kharif crops? The crops which are sown in the rainy season are called the Kharif crops. They are grown in the rainy season. So children, which season is going on just now? Can you tell me? Yes, it is the monsoon. Rainy season is going to start, or it has already started in some parts of our country. Fine. So at this point of time, the farmers, the whichever crops they will grow, they will come under Kharif crops. Okay. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton are Kharif crops. And the next is Rabi crops. The crops which are grown in the winter season are called Rabi crops. Example, wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseeds. Rabi crops means which are grown in the winter season. So when you grow in the winter season, you harvest it in the summer season, right? So the wheat, you all know that during April, May, everybody's house we have wheat. Everybody buys the wheat and the mother cleans it and she stores it in the big container, right? So wheat and all these are in the sown in the winter season, so they come under Rabi crops, and the crops which are grown in the rainy season comes under the Kharif crops. Understood? So let us take a big recap about crop production and management. In that we have the agricultural products. We all know that food is necessary for providing us energy to carry out various processes, life processes like digestion, excretion, respiration, etc. Fine. Okay, but temperature, humidity, rainfall is different in different parts of the country. All these three are the factors for agriculture, right? So in spite of having this diversity, we have divided the crops into two parts. That is the Kharif crops and the Rabi crops. Kharif crops means the crops which are grown in the rainy season, and Rabi crops means which are grown in the winter season. Okay children, so we stop here. I request you to please read the first and second page of your PDF file or textbook, whatever you are having, and keep in mind the key words that we have learnt today and the definitions of Kharif crop and Rabi crops. Okay, just go through it, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the stipulated time. Okay, so we will continue tomorrow. Thank you.